This is the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top-performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia Tri-State Area. Each week, your host, W.G. Bunch, and his guests share memories and stories about the past, the present, and the future of the Huntington Tri-State Area. That's Huntington, West Virginia, Ashland, Kentucky, and the Chesapeake and Proctorville, Ohio areas. If you used to live here or you currently live here, you're going to catch yourself saying out loud, "Wow, I remember that." Now, here's WG.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening? It's the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine. Once again, I love the fact that you, listener, have nothing better to do than to listen to us because we love you.
Super odd to me.
I just want to let you know. WG Bunch, I am your host, and of course, the reason why you're listening, I already know. Yes, she's here.
I'm here.
Yes, it is Vanessa Hankins. How are you, Vanessa?
I am wonderful.
Cool. How's everything at Safety Town?
Little girl fell in the sewer grate today. Her whole car. It was great. Teacher tried to get the car. It was a whole thing.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Hold it. You hit me with a left hook there.
You hadn't asked until now.
I'm sorry. A little and oh wow, I'm going to go to hell for laughing.
She's okay. Everything's safe. Car's not even broke.
A little girl fell into a sewer.
She drove into it. I don't even know how she got that far off the road. It's wild.
Oh my gosh!
Remember we talked about last episode?
Everybody's safe though.
Everybody's safe.
That's why it's Safety Town.
It's Safety Town.
And as Hank Dial said, it's not unsafety town.
It's not unsafety town.
There we go. All right. Hey, thanks for being here, everybody. We have got a very cool episode coming up. We're going to introduce our special guest coming up. We're still doing, what is today, the 5th or 6th or something of September, correct? 7th. We're still doing our Stewart's Hot Dogs giveaway, all right? That's left over from the last episode.
Yes.
Where you need to get on the Facebook page of the podcast and tell us, what do you think the funniest movie of all time is? And if you're a personal friend of mine, you can certainly send it through me, Instagram, however you want to do it. You can go through our webpage.
I think they should go to our Facebook. Okay, that's my preferred method.
Go to the Facebook.
It doesn't overwhelm WG. He's not really electronically savvy
or literate.
Let's just keep it simple. Let's go to Facebook.
I love KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yes.
There we go. So, so tell us what your favorite funny movie of all time is. Remember, no wrong answers. It's not, well, what am I supposed to say? We're going to do a drawing on the 15th. It will not be this episode. It will be the next episode. That's when we will do our drawing. And promise you, it is not fixed. It is going to be an actual.
You can't see it. He did the Scout's honor. He's serious about this. He promises.
I am pinky promising with everyone listening right now. This is a legit thing. Anyway, so all right, let's thank our sponsor, Realty Exchange. Realty Exchange, I think I know something about them, but Vanessa, tell us a little bit more.
Realty Exchange is the top-selling real estate company in the Huntington Tri-State Area, licensed in West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, and Florida. You can find us online at realty-ex.com. All
right, and also thanks to our podcast company. That's Circle 270 Media. If you're doing a podcast, nobody listens, they will help you. If you're thinking about doing a podcast, good Lord, if those clowns can do it, I can do it. You contact Circle 270 Media, and they'll get you set up.
Absolutely.
So, Circle 270 Media, thank you so much. All right, let's dive in.
Hold on. We got to thank one more person.
Who?
We're in our new studio.
Oh, that's right. Tell us about this. I love this studio. It's like a bank.
And you can hear us really well, I think. If you are listening and you've been listening a while, let us know if you've liked the last couple of episodes, the sound quality. Because we're like really doing this now.
This is like in a podcast studio.
This is legit.
I know.
This is legit.
I've never sounded or looked better in my entire life.
WG has his drunk goggles on, I think. Anyway, we are in CoWorks, Huntington WV. We're right downtown where Chase bank is, same location. As a lot of banks have, they've downsized a little bit, so they took advantage of the space here in Huntington and did a co-working space. So Co-works, West Virginia.
Next time you come to Huntington, if you live out of town, and you go to Jim's Spaghetti, a shout out to our boy Bradley Tweel, who has been on a show before.
Yes.
And you take a photo of Jim's Spaghetti, walk one block down, and you can take a photo of. This is where they record
WG
the Huntington.
hangs out there.
That's where the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine is recorded. You can take a photo out front and stuff.
Tag us.
Call me in advance, and I'll give you a price. I might show up. So we'll. But again, the
Are you doing?
price is negotiable.
You're a mess. Hot mess.
Yes. All right. Now
let's talk about this guest.
Guess who's? Well, I'm not going to say guess who.
He smells good. Talk about him.
Yeah, you know who's here because you've already read. Here's the description of the show.
You gotta quit doing that. Give it all away.
Okay, here we have Mr. Mel Cummings here. Mel, say hello.
Hello.
He's following directions very well.
Mel is, first of all, Mel is awesome. Mel is also with Realty Exchange, but he is the owner of the West Virginia Building. Now, whether you live here or not, West Virginia Building, correct me if I'm wrong, Mel, tallest building in Huntington, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. It's that one across from the Keith Albee.
With the awesome light.
Yes, with those cool ass lights. That and yes, we've given him a shout out before that Mr. Alex used to own. Mm-hmm. And Mel is now running the show and keeping it busy, and we want to hear all about it because the focus of today's show is living downtown. A question for both of you. What if you Google what is the population of Huntington? What do you think pops up? Vanessa, what do you think?
I should know this, and I have absolutely no clue.
Give it a shot.
I don't know. What, 50,000? I don't know.
Mel, what do you think?
I've seen a little less, like 46.
It's between 45 and 50. That's the population of Huntington. Now, throw in some of the sites, including Google, have the quote-unquote Huntington metro area.
That makes sense.
Which includes Ashland, Lawrence County, Ohio, Wayne County, Cabell County, and, believe it or not, Putnam County.
Yes.
But it also includes Ona and Milton and Barboursville and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, throw all that stuff in the mix. What do you think the population is, Vanessa?
Holy moly, I bet it doubles, at least.
So you think 100?
Yeah, at least.
Mel, what do you
I
think?
think close to triple. I think closer to 150 to 160.
It is almost 200,000 people live in this area. So,
good call.
So don't make fun of us because we're talking about quote-unquote urban living. And so many of our listeners live out of town. They're like, urban living? Well, we can't have urban living in Huntington.
But listen, if you grew up in East Lynn and then you move into town,
yes,
it's a rude awakening.
Yes. I mean, so that's what we're talking about today. Is we're talking about what is it like to live in downtown urban Huntington. And Mel again is the owner of the West Virginia Building, which it's all rental, or can you buy?
It's all rental.
Okay, it's all rental. And for the old schoolers like me, used to be a place on top called Permons. Permons was a restaurant. We talked about it on a previous episode in case you missed it. Permons was back in the 80s. Permons was a restaurant at the top of the West Virginia Building. Infamous for, number one, it had a valet parking. Only place in Huntington, West Virginia that had a valet parking.
Where was the lot for it?
I don't even know if there were real
where they
valet.
squirreled away the cars.
I think they may have just taken.
Why am I a weirdo? Like, why is that what piqued my interest? Where did the cars go?
I actually don't remember if the cars ever came back. Maybe it wasn't valet. I don't know. Anyway, but they had valet parking, and also they had an elevator operator. The elevator was just a push button thing where it was like you got on the elevator and it was just like, Permons was on top, which how many floors is it?
It's 15 stories.
15 stories.
Okay.
So you would hit 15 and it would take you to 15. But for some reason they had this dude on a stool in the elevator, who would just hit the button.
Oh, well, if you're having a valet parker, you also need to have someone push the button for you.
It was the experience. It was the end all be all for prom dates.
We didn't have that in East Lynn.
I got to go to proms with girls completely out of my league because
you would take them there.
Because I would
they
say,
were getting in line. We're gonna go with WC.
I'm like,
his daddy's gonna send us to the nice place.
I'm like, well, first of all, we're gonna start at Promons, and they're like, the Promons? I was like, I didn't know there were more than one. Yeah, I said, I ain't taking you to no steak and ale. No, we're going to Promons, and they were like, I'm all yours. I was like, oh, baby. And then at the end of the night, they would give me a handshake and say,
I was going to say, until they met their boyfriend at the prom.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, what a lovely meal. And we were out. So anyway, all right. Let's start with Mel. Mel, you bought the West Virginia building. Why?
I mean, it's just the prestigious building in downtown, and you don't pass
up on. Are you from here?
I am from Huntington. I've been from
I was gonna
Huntington.
ask that, yeah,
born, raised, haven't gone very far. A few blocks.
Okay, so you are.
I love home. I love it here.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about this.
Night. Yeah.
I totally forgot about this. Your mom was my 5th grade teacher, wasn't she?
I don't know, but a very good chance she was a 5th grade teacher.
At Meadows Elementary.
Yes.
And your sister went to school with me.
You're just remembering this?
I go in and out of space.
I get that.
I totally forgot about that.
Listen, teachers are the backbones of the community, man.
You're the
famous.
little one.
I'm the little brother. Yeah.
Little brother who done good.
Yeah, I got 4 older sisters.
Look at you.
Bullied by women my whole life.
Well,
it happens.
Yeah, we have a club. We meet on Tuesdays, the first Tuesday of every month. Anyway, all right. So West Virginia building is all rental, but it's not all residential. There's are there doctor's offices and stuff in there, or is it all?
Right now the only commercial spaces are the 2 on the main floor, the first floor.
Okay, and
ground level.
And again, everyone knows, public knowledge, I'm an idiot. Is that restaurant there still?
No, they're actually both vacant right now.
Okay.
So if you want to put in a restaurant, there's one restaurant space with
Is
partially
that you?
equipped.
Do we go through
Yes, go through me, and you can find me if you look up Cummings Rentals on Google.
Okay.
If you type in Huntington, West Virginia, Cummings Rentals, I'll pop up. Or you could even go through the West Virginia Penthouse, which
what was the most recent place that was called? What was that place called?
Sunset Grill.
Sunset Grill. Okay, all right. So Sunset Grill, not there anymore. Great location, unbelievable.
It really is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I remember. Yeah. Gosh, I've been to that location several times. So that's rip roaring, ready to go.
That's a beautiful space.
It is.
It's very nice.
Yeah,
it was redone. How many? I mean, it's been 10-ish years when that very first place came in and redone it completely.
They put that wood fired thing in the back.
Yeah, how long has that been?
That's pretty awesome.
That was prior to me. That was what was that? Prime.
Okay.
Prime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prime.
Yeah, so it was redone when Prime came in. So I mean, it's not been real long. That's a beautiful space.
I've had several girlfriends break up with me at Prime. It was beautiful.
Why are you such a
Not
mess?
even after Prime?
No.
Terrible.
You didn't pay the bill first?
No, actually, they would tell me on the front end, and I was just so desperate, I still went on with the
Shut
date.
up. I cannot deal with you.
Anyway, that's how my life works. Okay, so we've got, and then we have residential from 3 up.
Yes. Well, we've got
1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, all what?
1 and 2s.
One and twos.
But we have about 7 floors that we're going to be renovating.
Ooh,
over the next
so you're making
5 to 7
family
years.
space.
All right, what's up with up top? What's up with the penthouse area?
The penthouse? Okay, so when I bought the building in December of 2021, Alex, the previous owner, had already started doing a penthouse space up there, and so I just thought what was the best suited for that. Rather than ripping walls out and starting over again, I just turned it into the whole floor up there is penthouse.
What do you think it's best suited for? Like wedding receptions or private parties, quinceañeras, what?
So really, there's 4 bedrooms with 5 bathrooms. So
Dang.
Hold it. The penthouse upstairs has 4 bedrooms in it.
Yes.
And 5 bathrooms?
5. So each bedroom has its own ensuite.
Okay.
So you can actually go up there, and just like in a hotel, you don't even need to like your neighbors. So if you're having an event,
Fancy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
and if you have family like, some of mine that you don't necessarily want to see all the time,
Okay.
you still have your own separate space. So let's say you have a family reunion that
Super
you want to
nice.
have up there.
I have a feeling your phone is going to start going off
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
people booking it for bachelor parties.
Bachelor
That's
parties,
what I was saying,
bachelorette
yeah.
parties. So if the groom's from out of town and the bride's from in town, you go up there.
Good Lord, we're going.
Right?
Hold on, we're in a rabbit hole. I love it. Keep going.
So you go up there, and the groom can have his family come up,
All right,
or
that's enough.
family and friends, and they could have the rehearsal dinner the night prior.
oh,
So also up there, because the total
Super
space
nice.
is 5,250 square feet.
how long?
5,250 square feet.
And there's a kitchen, obviously.
There is a kitchen, and I have seating for up to 80
Look
Holy
at
moly.
that.
if you wanted to put up there.
All right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so, and that's all. Okay, again, all right, here's the deal. Let me just refresh your memory. Downstairs space for a restaurant and some commercial stuff down there. Then you got the residential stuff. Then you got penthouse up top for private functions. CummingsRentals.com, Cummings Rentals WV.
Just Google Huntington, West Virginia, Cummings Rentals. It's property management / Cummings Rentals LLC.
Okay, all right. It's ready. It's ready to go. Correct.
Mhm.
All right. Now, and I'm assuming.
We also have a Facebook page that you can go. So if you wanted to get those lights that you were talking about,
Well, that's what I was going to
changed,
say. Did I see
up
like
there.
someone did like a birth
Yeah.
announcement with
yes,
the lights?
absolutely. If you wanted to request
Crazy.
different lights on the building for an event that you're having, just
Cool.
hit us up on the Facebook page.
That's awesome.
People
All
are
right.
wild with these birth announcements.
Yes, and that's the West
Boy or
Virginia building.
girl?
That's the one when you come in town. It's right across for the people who don't live here. Vanessa and I realized more than half of the audience doesn't live here. I mean, y'all are all over the country. The best way to remember the West Virginia building is it's right across from the Keith Albee. Basically, that's the big one. That's the West Virginia
Can't
building.
miss it.
Yeah, that we're talking about now. Next to the West Virginia building is, I think, probably the most iconic, and that is the Frederick.
Yes.
That is the one. I mean, prominently displayed in We Are Marshall. They still, the lights are still on with those
They are.
bright white, beautiful lights that say the
You'll
Frederick.
see it in a lot of wedding photography
Yes.
and senior photos.
Yes.
Kids love to play in the middle of the road for those senior photos right there.
Everybody loves the Frederick. And guess who used to live in the Frederick? Vanessa Hankins.
Lived in, puked in.
Oh, my.
Oh, God. So many things.
That's,
Ugh.
I didn't ask that.
This
but
poor Hankins family when they let me in.
Tell us about the Frederick, ma'am. What's it like to live in a monumental, iconic place like that?
So backstory, just because you guys like to hear all my ridiculousness with the husband. When we first started dating, he was his grandpa's maintenance guy. He cleaned and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I was dating just like the custodian.
Nothing wrong with that.
Whatever, let me do the walk of shame 2 or 3 times before he let me know his grandpa owned the building. His mom worked in the downstairs lobby. His sister also worked in the downstairs lobby. So
Mel, welcome to the show.
Yes,
These are the
hello.
discussions that we have. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, had no idea. I thought I was just dating the janitor, and turns out I'm dating the asshole whose grandfather owns the building.
My God.
So,
Brandon, we love you,
had
brother.
no idea. We do love him. He's great. But yeah, it was beautiful, obviously. Lots of interesting furniture. John Hankins, the owner, loves antiques. You can tell that as soon as you walk in the door. You've got the awesome restaurant downstairs. It's changed a few times over the years. Right now, 21 clubs in there.
Yeah, no, and I know it has changed. And let me. All right, you walk in the main entrance, okay, and you've got the big foyer and
Yes,
a
the
lot
marble
of
steps.
a lot of people will rent that for functions.
Many things. Yeah.
You've got 21 to the left.
Yes.
And 21, formerly it was Elephant Walk and Ming's for old school people like me.
Yeah.
You walk forward. Is the room that you keep, if you keep walking, is that room still there in the back?
21 has it now too. Actually, they've got like most of the ground floor.
Okay.
He uses some of the old sandwich shop for storage, I believe.
Okay.
There's an entertainment space over there. The door's directly back that you're talking about. You can privately rent that room or use it in addition to the lobby.
Okay.
So literally any kind of event rental that goes through, it actually goes through 21 Club. It does not go through our family.
And second floor, if you go up the stairs and there's that little, it's not a rotunda. I don't even know.
I mean, it basically is. Yeah.
But those are like attorneys' offices and stuff still? Or
There's
no?
a few. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a few still up there.
Now, there's an elevator that takes you to residences. Good.
There's some rentals.
Yeah.
A lot of people quite a few people have purchased penthouses.
And can you get online and find any for sale?
No,
Don't know?
John's old school.
Okay,
You're gonna have to like come and contact the office and get walked through it like
Okay.
real old school. We're not in the modern times here with the Frederick.
Because when you look at the Frederick, what's deceiving is you just see the Frederick sign and you think it's not a very big building.
Oh, it's massive.
It's so long and expansive, and it
Yes.
goes all the way over to
it's an L. Well, it's an L shape. Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes all the way over and stuff. That until you get in there, you don't realize how much space is in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Because our good friend we talked with before we started recording, Wayne Scott, had a lot of that space for rent and stuff. I remember going in there at one point going, I forgot how massive this
It really
building
is.
is.
Yeah. It's huge.
And it's what, 3 or 4 stories? Or 2? I don't know.
I don't know. Like, no, it's like
I don't know.
5 or 6. It's
I'm
pretty
asking
big.
you,
At
Isn't
least
it?
4.
Yeah.
At least 4.
Yeah. I should probably count that. I don't.
Does the Frederick butt right up against the West Virginia building, or is there something in between?
No,
There's
the
two
Rio Grande
properties
building and
between
then
it,
the
I
Angel
believe.
building.
Yeah.
Is that where the Mexican restaurant is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And what is it called?
I call it the Rio Grande building because of the Mexican restaurant, but then the Angel building. That
Okay,
was
so they're not right back to
Yeah,
back.
they've
against
got
each other.
firewalls that
Okay.
I did know that.
All right. Now, I forgot to ask you, Mel. Do you currently live in the West Virginia building, or have you?
I have. I do not right now, but
Okay.
I've moved out.
Well, because
few weeks ago.
what we're talking about is living downtown. I've never lived in downtown Huntington. I guess my claim to fame would have been, I can't remember what year this would have been, 2005, 2006, something like that. Some investors from Miami came up and said, we just bought the St. James building and we need someone to sell all of these used to be apartments, now going to be condos. And I was very, very honored that they chose myself and Prudential Bunch Company Realtors to be the listing company. And so we set up a little sales office. And so I got to know the idea of downtown living. I think another one of the reasons why they chose us is because I had experience, because I lived downtown. Everybody hates this word now, Houston. But yeah, that's where I lived. I lived downtown Houston. And they were like, well, you've got experience of living downtown, and so that's what we want. Here's an interesting story about the St. James. One of the challenges with the St. James is people said, where do you get your groceries? Where am I supposed to eat?
Yes.
What am I supposed to do with this and that? And a spokesperson from a company came and did a presentation for the investors of the St. James, the people who owned it. Swiss Capital Group was the name of the company. We are a company where we will go get food from any restaurant within like a 2 or 3 mile radius and deliver it to the St. James for a fee and stuff like that. I don't know why they approached the St. James, but Swiss Capital Group said no, thank you, and it was Grubhub, and they said no.
How did I miss out on that?
They said nope, we're not interested. And what doesn't make sense to me is I don't know why they made their decision based on I don't know why. The owners
and they're out, like, they lived in community. So another backstory here, my husband at the time when they came in was their maintenance guy, and my mother-in-law was
Michelle?
Michelle was like their main office
Michelle might have been in that meeting.
I'm sure she was. That's why I'm like, I never heard about this.
And
but they lived in communities. These investors lived in communities where this already existed and made their life easier. So it's wild that they didn't want to hear.
Let me backtrack. I'm not 100% sure. It was either DoorDash or Grubhub. But when they started popping up, I went, that's the same company that the St. James had.
Right. And God, that was so many years ago.
Yeah, they said
that's crazy.
They said thanks, but no thanks. And so it was like kind of a little bit of a hindrance.
I wonder if maybe they were thinking, though, that their clientele that was going to buy those condos was going to be older people who wanted to do it themselves.
Could be. Now, all right, we got to. Let's get to. Hold on. Let's get to the game. We're going to play your call. Mel, of course, is just like, I don't know what is coming, but here it comes. Everybody, first question I have for our panelists and for you listeners, of course, we have no idea what you're going to answer. Vanessa, I've never asked you this. Who do you think the most overrated actor is?
Tom Cruise, hands down.
You're not a Tom Cruise.
I'm not even taking a pause on that one. No.
Maverick?
I don't even have to think about it.
Have you seen Maverick?
I have not, and I've heard it's fantastic, and I'm sure I'm going to watch it because I loved the original Top Gun. But listen,
I am going to.
He wears me out.
People are going to hate me for this. I don't understand Daniel Day-Lewis. First of all, he retired. And he's like in his 50s or 60s. And he's like, I'm just not going to do movies anymore. I'm like, who the hell do you think you are?
Apparently he's wealthy enough to not give a shit.
But I guess. But first, his movies are not for me anyway. I did like the one where he owned the oil wells. And his son, he would like beat the hell out of his son. And he'd be like, I want your milkshake. I do. Like, what is that? I can't. No, that's not No Country.
I've not seen this movie. What the hell are you talking about?
I like that movie. Lincoln. No, thank you. I was like, can't believe they're making a movie.
I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis is it's you know who said that was their favorite actor? Chris Miller. Chris Miller on our show said that was his favorite.
He did say that.
So much for my new Kia.
Chris is out of here. We're
Yep, I did.
We did like you, Chris.
My Kia Sportage just went down the tubers. All right, Mel,
what's yours?
Most overrated actor. Think about it.
Just throw back in, since you were talking about that, I'm going to throw Alice Cooper and Monster Dog out there.
Oh, shit.
Knowing how you love Monster Dog.
Weird thing that I looked up last week.
I love it when people reference past episodes. Alice Cooper and Monster Dog. Yeah, baby.
Wait, I looked it up. Was it a German movie or something crazy?
It was crap no matter what country.
I'm going to watch it. Like, I made myself a mental note. Oh,
don't.
It's going on the list of terrible shit to watch.
Don't.
Like,
I will watch Major Payne because apparently it's good.
It's hilarious.
That's from the other episode. Don't watch Monster Dog. It's awful. Anyway, go ahead. Yes, Bell Cummings.
By the way, my kids love Major Payne.
It's hilarious.
It is great. It's wonderful.
Yes. Okay.
I would go with Nicolas Cage.
Ooh.
Most overrated.
God, that's my dad's favorite guy.
That's actually a pretty good. That's a pretty good call.
Yeah.
I just want to bring his neck when he starts talking.
Oh my! Oh gosh! And I just did a bad impression.
And I grew up on his movies, so I'm with you. That's my dad's favorite guy. Like,
all right,
for sure.
Next question. Again, nothing to do with what we're talking about today. Better to vacation on the East Coast or the West Coast? Vanessa.
This one's hard.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say East. You glow East Coast America.
I'm East Coast for sure. You're right. You got me.
I'm throwing everybody for a curveball. I'm going Gulf Coast, baby. Texas, Louisiana.
Did we not know this was coming, Mel?
Yeah, well, let's not let the cat out of the bag.
Did we not know this one was coming?
Mel, what do you think? East Coast or West Coast?
I've only been to the West Coast once, and that was in high school. So
and you liked or no?
Did you love it?
I did like it. But so I would have to go with something I haven't done.
Okay.
So I would go West Coast just to explore.
Yeah, for sure. That's a solid answer.
We got West Coast. All right, next one. This could be controversial. And
Hold on.
Oh,
Why am I East Coast? How do I radiate that?
because
Is it the white trash in me? Is
why would
that what you're doing
what?
here?
No.
What do you think, Mel? You can see his facial expression. Did I just
He
catch
didn't
him
say
up in
Myrtle
that?
Beach.
Hey, I love Dirty Myrtle. I do.
Dirty Myrtle. Is that what they call it?
Oh yeah.
I think he's saying
I had
warm
an
water
aunt-
versus cold water.
Okay.
Dirty Myrtle was actually an aunt of mine.
Shut up.
And I was like, I was only 7, and I was like, why do they call her that? Anyway, all right, last question. Everybody, play at home. Play at home. Here's a good one, and I'm going to start with Mel on this end. Best pizza in the Huntington Tri-State Area. Hold on, Mel Cummings. Think. It doesn't matter what toppings, but if you want to give us a little explanation on your choice, that's fine. Your favorite pizza in the Huntington Tri-State Area, and
If either of you say the one that I'm thinking, I'm gonna.
And you better not say I'm vegetarian.
Walking
and
out of here.
And I don't eat carbs, and I don't like
Don't
pizza.
be that person.
Yeah, don't be that. Go ahead.
No, I love pizza.
Okay.
It's almost
The
too
best.
broad of a question
Okay.
because
Right?
it's like you can.
There's so many
Yeah,
options.
so many different.
You know the old-
subsections of pizza. Like,
The old
Yes.
joke.
Yeah.
You know the old joke that I
No.
was raised on. Kids, earmuff kids. Pizza's like sex. When it's good, it's really good, and when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
So like
Mel Cummings is not
Yes.
amused.
Poor guy.
He's like, I don't know why I'm here.
And you acted like I'm the one
I know.
that's terrible.
That's such an old joke. Go ahead.
yeah. I tried a new pizza down in Barboursville, which was Al's New York Pizza, which was wonderful, but I'm still not going to go with it.
Okay. Al's New York Pizza.
Yeah.
Where is that?
That's in Barboursville?
That's in Pea Ridge area, Kmart, the old Hills Kmart Plaza
Oh,
area.
yeah.
Has absolutely no signage.
I was going to say, I have heard about it,
Where
but
that
I didn't know what it was.
Mexican place is?
In that area,
in that area.
vicinity.
Okay.
So you know where the huge liquor store is?
Why would you look at me?
We
and
all know
ask?
where that is, obviously.
Why are you asking me?
Did you see my
weren't
mom
you
water
walking
when
into the
you
liquor
walked
store at
in?
10 o'clock last week?
I went to the. I know where the cosmetology school is.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes.
It's next to that.
Digressing. But I mean that backyard. But I'd have to go with Monty's just because I like just
Monty's.
greasy off the wall.
You know
Yeah,
what was
kinda
the best,
quick.
though, and it's not there anymore, I don't think, is the Monty's that was over in Chesapeake. That lady could kill some pizza. God, it was so good.
What is that? What's
No,
your?
that's not my
Oh,
answer, because I don't even think it's there anymore.
Okay. What's your answer?
You know what? I'm going with my mom's iron skillet deep dish pizza.
Oh my
Is like
God.
the freaking best pizza. But listen, I don't really talk to my mom anymore, so I haven't had that in years. So if I'm going with
Wow.
a local place,
Yeah.
I am going to go with Marco's Pizza, and I know it's a chain, so don't come at me for that. It consistently is always good. We've never had a bad experience ordering for a family with lots of different. My daughter doesn't eat sauce. If you can
What?
not put sauce on a pizza when I say no sauce.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's
Didn't
all-
mean to bump the table there.
Okay. Very emphasizing.
Well, listen, have you ever had a daughter who is a drama queen lose her shit over them putting marinara on a pizza that you told them no marinara?
To the best of my knowledge, I don't have any
It's
children. I hope they don't come
terrible.
knocking on the door.
Terrible.
Okay.
Moms at home, you know.
Okay.
Marco's has been great across the page, so I'm going with them.
All right. You're going Marcos. All right. I don't know if I have a favorite, but I think
You're going to go with the one that
that you hate probably that we did a show on with Jordan.
Oh, no.
It's because it's so original or whatever. I'm a Geno's type of boy.
I like Geno's.
I
like Giovanni's, too.
Every time I eat Geno's,
All pizza. I'm an equal opportunist.
anytime I eat Geno's, I feel like I'm 9 years old again.
I can see that.
I feel like I'm a little kid.
Yeah.
I'm like this. I'm right back to being a kid, and nobody knows. Everybody who knows me knows anything that's going to take me back to my childhood.
You love it.
I am
You're
good.
in.
I'm golden. I'm good to go. So, hey, how did you guys do? All right. If you wanna, how do they answer again? They do it on our Facebook page. Is that what that's
Facebook,
called?
Yes, find us there.
Yeah, Vanessa's our social media person. All right. Now,
It's because he's old.
yes, I am. All right, now let's get back to the whole downtown living thing. We're living downtown. We've heard about West Virginia Building. We've heard about the Frederick Building. We heard a little bit about the St. James Building. Now there's also the Renaissance Building.
Yes.
Our good buddy Shane Radcliffe owned the Renaissance Building. He doesn't own it anymore, does he? He sold it, right?
It was all condos.
Yeah.
I was going to say, there's some
Everything's been
super sweet condos in there. Aren't there?
Yeah, those are very nice.
Yeah.
That's still
those-
in the Angel Building, which he rents out, which is downtown also.
Yeah, Angel
Dang,
Building.
Shane's like killing it, isn't he? He's like got all the things.
Yeah, I mean, there are tons of good. All right, let me ask you this. Besides what you have, Mel, can people contact you and say, maybe this isn't your property, but can you show me other properties downtown?
Absolutely.
How do they contact you for that?
Again, I'll put my cell phone number out there. It's 304-617-1433, or you can go to, again, look up Cummings Rentals in Huntington, West Virginia.
And
Just
you
Google
do commercial and residential.
commercial and residential sales, and I'll do rentals.
Okay.
Surrounded by two pros.
Yeah. I'm
I know you forget pretty often that you're
I'm still
into
trying
real
to figure out
estate.
what I'm a pro at. But
WG's real estate royalty.
oh, please. Oh, okay.
It's like
Yeah,
train the trainer, right?
I know my cape and my crown are very. All right, so real quick before let me tell you, I never lived downtown Huntington. I lived in downtown Houston, and I lived in a building called Houston House on the 28th floor. It was so magnificent, but I hated that name because it sounded like it was a rehab. And it was like, you live in Houston House? What is that? I remember my parents going, are you okay? But it was
grew up in Huntington.
if you ever watch the movie Urban Cowboy with John Travolta, that was shot in Houston House. You'll see the Houston House logo and all stuff. Anyway, I lived there. So 28th floor.
Holy moly, this building's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Listen, you guys know me at home. I'm Googling.
Vanessa's Googling the property and whatnot right now. And it was
That's really cool.
I was like 20, 21.
How did you afford that?
I was
Was your dad?
no
fitting the
Real
bill?
estate royalty.
no. But people have a hard time believing it. I was a pretty damn good DJ. I mean, I did.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I did,
I mean, I believe it.
I did pretty
You always
well.
impress me weekly on these
and
podcasts.
I had a roommate named Bill. We were it was like two
Bill.
clowns living in this place. But the good thing is Bill fell in love, and he is still married to Melita.
Did he leave you to your?
I had
your
the whole
own?
place to myself.
He still paid half the rent.
Yeah, and I was like,
Shout out to Bill.
it felt like every month I was like, I'm gonna get the notice from Bill. Hey, I'm moving in with Melita. You're on your own. I don't know way I could have afforded it by myself.
He needed to say, "Hey, my roommate is the WG."
Yeah, I know. We had meet and greets and the whole 9 yards and stuff. Yeah, one of the things we did in our apartment is we bought. There used to be a store called the Sharper Image, and they sold completely overpriced gadgets and junk.
It's still a thing, isn't it?
Is the Sharper Image still in business?
I think it is.
We bought a laser show
Fuck yes.
for the apartment where
This is why we're people.
I don't know how I ever got a date. I was like the corniest. Like I said, corny with a C. A female companion would come. Oh my! I don't even know what I'm talking about right now.
I need to.
I know I'm sweating.
Jesus.
They would come back to the apartment, and I would turn on this cheesy.
You want to see my light show?
They were like, I can't. Luckily, Jägermeister had a lot
You
to
are
do
a
with it.
train wreck.
I know.
I love it.
Luckily, Jägermeister had a lot to do with it, where they were like, I've never had Jägermeister. I was like, good, because you're going to need a lot of it. And turn on the laser show, and before, anyway. Oh my God, I can't believe this is crazier than the Carl Lewis story. I knew the guy.
You're gonna rub your eyebrows off.
No.
Jesus.
That's why we don't do this on video. We knew the guys that lived below us. And Chris Arambaru. Hello, Chris. Nice to see you. Chris was a fantastic dude. He still is. And his roommate was a guy named Brian. and Brian looked like someone who just walked off of a soap opera set. He was like it's same age as us and stuff, just good looking, hair always in place.
Stupid handsome.
Yeah.
Not fair. God favored him.
Every time I would see him in the elevator, he had like some sort of Sports Illustrated model or something that I was going, he's like, hey, WG. I was like, I hate you.
I have a light show.
Yeah, I was like, do you want to come up and see the laser show? Yeah, but anyway, so then what would happen is we all had these big balconies. And when I would hear Brian on his balcony below us with little Miss, not Mrs. Wright, but Mrs. Wright now, what I would do is I had a Pee Wee Herman doll. And what I would do is I would take the Pee Wee Herman doll, put a little string around it, and I would lower the Pee Wee Herman doll down to his balcony while he's out with his date trying to romance her. I would just lower the doll down and go, Brian! Hey! And these poor girls would be like, what is going on?
So is this like at his bedroom?
Yeah, it was.
Or like the living room of the apartment?
If you look at the photo, it's like all of the balconies, like they were on top of each other. Okay. So, and I would tell my roommate Bill, Brian's out there with a girl, and we would lower down Pee Wee Herman, and I would go, Brian. My
main question is why the fuck did you have a Pee Wee Herman doll in your 20s?
I don't.
What was the purpose prior to Brian for this Pee Wee Herman doll?
That's what I need to know.
That's for the next show. We call that a what do they call that when it's like a cliffhanger for the next?
So are you also still friends with Brian?
No, I'm friends with Chris.
Is Chris in touch with Brian? I want to know if Brian married one of the Mrs. Right Now.
Good question. I don't know. Chris, of course, I'm still friends with because Chris thought it was hilarious. Because
it is. It's freaking the best.
Yeah, like he would like come knock on the door.
I don't know why I missed that opportunity living downtown.
He would like knock on the door and go, Chris is or Brian is furious. I'm like, I don't care. That was and the other thing was, and the final story is, we were downtown freaking Houston. We would shoot fireworks off of our balcony constantly, which is course illegal.
Been there.
But we would shoot fireworks off, and we did it one night. I don't know, Memorial Day, July 4th, something. We shot all these fireworks off, bottle rockets, not commercial grade stuff, but we would shoot these fireworks off, and all of a sudden, before we know it, out of nowhere, here come 5 or 6 Houston police cars.
Oh, out of nowhere?
Well,
surprise!
And you could see the lights coming, and they kept getting closer and closer. And then Bill and I went, shit. Oh no. I think they're coming to us.
Did you blame it on Brian?
We should have. But
it was Pee Wee.
And luckily, my roommate Bill was like, we've got to clean the balcony because there are these
debris,
skid marks or whatever from where we shot him off. Yeah, and so there we are with a mop on our balcony, and it was like, we were sweating bullets, and before you know it, who
ratted on you? Who hated you in that building?
Somebody.
Probably
that was
Brian.
It could have been Brian. Brian Perry, if you listen to this, you son of a...
You fucker.
Anyway, yeah. But, yeah, and the police were like, we have a report that somebody's been shooting fire. And everybody in the building were like attorneys and doctors and stuff. And then there was Bill and I in our early 20s going...
Bougie he is in his 20s in his really nice apartment.
Like, yeah, and I was like...
Being a shithead.
I know. Yeah. And so I was like... And they were like, we have some... And Bill was the mastermind. Well, I was the one that said we should do it. And I was the one that had the fireworks because But
Bill was the mastermind.
He was the one that was...
You like how WG stories go?
He wrapped up everything. He was like, number 1, we got to clean the balcony. Number 2, we got to put the shells and the sticks and stuff in the bottom of the trash and take
No, you throw them on Brian's porch.
We should have. We did not. we didn't hate Brian that much. But yeah, so we had to like get a separate trash bag, take it down to the trash room, and all. It was like a covert operation.
So like, no, neither of you thought we're going to be really sweaty and look like we're up to no good when they knock on the door.
Yeah, we were sitting there on our fake leather couch going, this is just what we do. We're watching...
Two sweaty men.
Yeah, we're watching Sports Center.
On our leather couch.
Yes, officer, feel free to look around. And they're like, what are you guys doing?
A train wreck.
Yeah, we're just like
absolute train wreck.
We're watching college sports and enjoying the evening with a Sprite. Can we get you a Sprite?
There is so much more nonsense that can be had about downtown living. So this one's going to have to be an episode.
That was
two.
Downtown living for me.
This one's going to have to be episode two.
So here's the moral of the story. If you live downtown Huntington, no fireworks, especially not at the West Virginia building or the Frederick. They will find out and say, we know who you are. You listen to that stupid podcast. That's where you got the idea. Stop it. All right, so you all don't have balconies.
No balconies. We do have windows that open though.
So windows open. All right. No
suggestions.
No crazy fireworks or anything.
No balconies on the front of the Frederick, only on the back, but it's gloomy back there.
All right. So yeah, let's not get crazy, Huntington. We don't. I think it should be a bumper sticker. Don't be a WG.
And listen, I work with the cops. They're gonna know. They're not gonna like me anymore. So don't do it.
Yeah. Just say no.
Like, God, Vanessa.
Yeah. Just say no to phantom fireworks. All right. Mel, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. I've known you for a while. Proud of you. I knew you before you owned the West Virginia building. You've got apartments to rent and whatnot. Cummings Rentals online in West Virginia in the Huntington area, and he is going to hook you up. Faux show. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you all. I enjoyed it.
Tell your family I said hello. Love your sisters and the whole family.
I do have one question. Do you only have roommates named Bill?
Yeah. And what they do is, yes.
If anyone doesn't know,
yeah, they all.
WG, who lives with you?
And guess, and my dad lives with me. Guess what his name is? Bill.
I love it.
Everybody sits on.
That is fantastic.
And everybody sits on the stairs and just goes.
Can we have
I'm
more
just a
of your
Bill.
friends on the show, please?
Yes, we'll get every bill I've ever known in my entire life. I'll have you pay my bills. That was a terrible joke. Anyway, Vanessa, did you have a good time?
Always.
All right, cool. Thanks for listening. We got, 50 or 60 other episodes. Y'all take a listen, all right? And Vanessa, go ahead and take us out.
We are out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia Tri-State Area. If you have a memory you would want WG to talk more about, just send him an email at memories@htstimemachine.com or post a comment on the Time Machine Facebook group page. Did you like this episode? Be sure to share it with friends and family. You can find a link in the show notes that you can use to share it. And be sure to let Realty Exchange know that you like the podcast as well. Their contact information can be found in this episode's show notes.